Hey guys, how's it going? So here's the last topic in the unit. It's called solving rational equations. And so it's kind of combining some of the skills that we've learned in this unit and how to solve equations in this unit. So quick review. So we have the equation x minus 4 over 12 equals x plus 2 over 8. Now, there's a few ways that we're going to do these questions over here. I'm going to do it in kind of a weird way here, and then it's going to be able to apply this method into other ways of into other questions as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to factor 12 into 4 times 3, and then I'm going to factor 8 into 4 times 2. Now, what we're doing over here is like we say that, well, if we look at our denominators, we have a 4 here and a 4 here, so those are already common. And then, but they have a 3 here and a 2 here. What we're going to do is I'm going to multiply, and so that our lowest common denominator then is going to be 4 times 3 times 2. So this is going to be the lowest common denominator on both sides of the equation. What we're going to do is I'm going to go 4 times 3 times 2 over 1 like this. So multiplying this to this side, and the same thing to this side over here. Now, the kids, guys, this is over 1. It's not like I'm multiplying the top and the bottom by the same thing. It's like I'm multiplying the left side by this and the right side by this as well. Now, what this does is we're going to get some cancellation here. So by multiplying both sides the same, I'm allowed to do that. It's still a balanced equation, but the 4's cancel out here, the 3's cancel out here, and I'm left with the 2. And in this case, the 4's cancel out and the 2's cancel out here. Okay, so now this 2 gets multiplied through the brackets, and this 3 gets multiplied through the brackets as well. So we get 2x minus 8 equals 3x plus 6. What this method does here, by multiplying both sides by the lowest common denominator, is it eliminates the fractions in this equation. Okay, so it just eliminates the denominators of both sides, and we have a much simpler equation to solve over here. So now if I subtract both sides by 2x, I get x. If I subtract both sides by 6, I get negative 14. So x equals negative 14 is going to be the solution to this equation over here. So similar idea, we have 5 over 2x plus 11 over 12 equals 2 over 3x. Hopefully we can see that our lowest common denominator is going to be 12x. Okay, now if you didn't like seeing this over here, maybe let's kind of rewrite this guy over here. So 12 is just 2 times 2 times 3. So like the 2 is common in these two, the 3 is common in these ones. So what's common over that? It's like 2 times 2 times 3x. This would be the lowest common denominator over here. Okay? But I'm just going to treat this guy as 12x. So what we want to do is we want to multiply 12x, and this is 12x over 1 times both sides of the equation. This, okay? Now that means this has to be multiplied to this term and to this term, okay? So when I have 12x over 2x, the x's cancel. 12 over 2 is 6. 6 times, so we're left with 6 times 5 on this term here. When I do this term over here, well, 2 times 2 times 3 is 12. Cancel those 12. So we're left with just the x. So it's going to be plus 11x. And here, the x's cancel out. 12 over 3 is 4. And it's 2 times 4. So we get 11. No, sorry, it's 6 times 5, not 6 plus 5. So this is 30 plus 11x equals 8. Subtract 30. And then divide by 11. X equals negative 2. That's going to be the solution for this equation over here. Okay. Now, one more thing we need to kind of consider for a question like this is, since we have a variable in the bottom of the fraction here and here, we have a non-permissible value. X cannot equal 0. Okay. Now this is dramatic because the solution is x equals negative 2, and we're saying x can't equal 0. Great. Okay. So there's no conflict here. Sometimes though, we're going to list this non-permissible value, and you might get two solutions or maybe one solution. And if one of those solutions is this non-permissible value, we need to make sure that we're excluding that as one of our solutions over here, because this is a non-permissible value over here. All right, let's keep on going. So a little bit more difficult over here. I'm just going to rewrite this guy over here. And the strategy we're going to do, and there is more than one way to do this question, and I can say that I can argue that they all really are the same way, but I just want to keep the method consistent so that when we have more difficult questions that we can figure out how to do those ones later on. So our lowest common denominator that we're going to multiply is going to be m minus 2 times m plus 4, like that. And we're going to multiply this to this side and to this side over here. So we get m minus 2, m plus 4, like this. And we get m minus 2, m plus 4, like that. The m minus 2's cancel here and here. The m plus 4's cancel here and here. So we multiply this just times 1. So we get m plus 4. And we have to multiply the 5 like this. We get 5m minus 10. Bring the m over here, bring the 10 over here. We get 4m equals 14. Divide by 4. Reduce this guy. We get m equals 7 over 2. Let's double check our non-permissible values. They're 2 and negative 4. And 2 and negative 4 is not this answer over here, so that means this answer is good. Okay, so we're checking this one. It's not conflicting with our non-permissible values, so our solution is going to be m equals 7 over 2 for this question. All right, so keep on going. Okay, a little bit more difficult over here, and it's more difficult because we have 3 terms, okay? What we need to figure out is we need to figure out what is the lowest common denominator over here. And we're going to do that by factoring this guy over here. So we have 9 over y minus 3 minus 4 over y minus 6 equals 18 over y minus 3, y minus 6, because this is how this guy factors over here. Okay? Hey, Julia, come on down here. I'm just teaching a class, but you can come and say hi. Y minus 3, y minus 6 is my lowest common denominator. So we're going to multiply that to both sides of the equation. Guys, we have my co-worker slash 3-year-old daughter just joined us over here. So, Julia, want to say hi? No, she's being shy right now. So what we're doing is we're multiplying every term times the lowest common denominator, like this. And we get cancellation. These guys cancel here. The y minus 6's cancel, and then the y minus 3's cancel. So we're left with 9y minus 54. That's just the 9 times here and here. This is a negative 4. When we multiply times y minus 3 is minus 4y plus 12 equals 18. So what we're left with here, 9y minus 4y is 5y. Negative 54 plus 12 is negative 42 equals 18. Bring the 42 over. That means 5y equals 60. And then we're going to divide by 5. So we got y equals 12. Okay. Again, we have to check with our non-permissible values. Our non-permissible values were y cannot equal 3 or 6 based off this. This is not in conflict with this solution over here, so this is our solution to this equation over here. All right, guys, I hope that this makes sense, and please be in touch if you have any questions. Talk soon.
Look at me.
Oh, Julia, careful, okay? That thing's not very safe, okay? Don't hang on that one, please. You can hang on this part, but don't hang on that part over there. Okay, see how it's wobbly? Yeah, so don't hang on that, please. Hang on this part.
How about that one?